What is brain-working recursive therapy, BWRT? It's a contemporary psychological model that aligns closely with current neuroscience. It's practical, solution-focused, and designed to meet the expectations of modern therapy. What sets it apart is that it's scientifically grounded and it works in a fundamentally different way from longer-term approaches such as CBT, counselling, or hypnotherapy. BWRT is currently being used within a number of clinical settings across the world, where clinical psychologists are evaluating it across a range of presentations. These presentations even include post-cancer psychological support, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia, and generalized anxiety disorder, as well as more complex conditions such as OCD, PTSD, and even eating disorders. Reported outcomes from both clinicians and clients have so far been consistently positive, particularly in relation to speed and effectiveness. If there is any hesitation about BWRT, it's usually that it sounds almost too straightforward. However, the clinicians using it continue to report that it is exactly what it says on the tin, what it's designed to do. The origins of BWRT are quite interesting. In 1983, there was a neuroscientist called Benjamin Libet who demonstrated that the brain initiates decisions a fraction of a second before we become consciously aware of them. In simple terms, the brain moves first, conscious awareness follows. And this creates what is described as a cognitive gap. There's a brief window in time between the brain activating a response and your conscious mind catching up. That gap explains why it's so difficult to simply tell yourself to stop reacting or get over it, relax. The non-conscious process has already been triggered by the time you become aware of it, of course. Now, many psychological symptoms are the result of an established response pattern. At some point, those patterns may even have been useful or protective. The difficulty is that the brain will continue to run them automatically, regardless of whether they're still appropriate. So if a trigger matches an existing pattern, the brain will activate it before conscious thought has a chance to intervene. So this helps explain why people often feel that their reactions are happening automatically or against their will. BWRT works by interrupting that automatic sequence and establishing a new response pattern. The focus is on changing your brain's immediate reaction so that a different, more appropriate response is triggered instead. The process is content-free, meaning that you're not required to go into any detailed accounts of any distressing or sensitive experiences that you might have had. There's no physical contact, there's no trance work, there's no tapping, and there's no reliance on techniques such as hypnosis, NLP, CBT, EMDR, or eye movements. It also doesn't require you to identify the original cause of the issue. The work centres only on the strongest current experience of the symptom and changing your brain's response to it. So rather than trying to manage or suppress your unwanted emotional reactions, BWRT is designed to prevent them from activating in the first place.